Welcome to the 5-point series for Workers and Resources Soviet Republic, and we are starting on the 23rd of February 1955, and we are playing in realistic mode. As you can see, we've got 1.4 million rubles, $700,000. Not particularly be that useful because we are actually starting in the center of the map, a long way away from NATO. The best we could hope for is setting up a shipping route to be able to import and export to NATO. This video is going to consist of two parts. I'm going to do a pretty short introduction explaining why we're starting in 1955, talk a little bit about the backstory that's going to cover what I'm calling the prelude, which is the first 5 years up until 1960. And then at the end of the introduction, I'll just give you a bit of an overview of the local area and what our strategy is going to be to develop the economy. Now, I will put in a timestamp for anyone who wants to jump forward, but I strongly recommend that you do watch the introduction, simply because if you jump forward, the way I'll be playing may seem a bit confusing, because it won't be like if you watch other YouTube series where you start in 1960 at the moment. And what they do is they jump straight in and start planning a mega city with lots and lots of buildings. And of course, they spend about 3-4 years before the first people move in. That's something I want to avoid, and I'll explain that in a little while. So first, I want to explain why am I starting in 1955. And there's basically three reasons. The first one is simply technical, because when I was originally planning this series, I wanted to start in 1900. And when the waste update was released at the end of July 2023, I was ready to jump straight in, but I ran into a slight problem. If I come in here, you will see if I pick up the waste trucks here. Now, these are all the waste trucks that are available in 1955, including NATO. And what we've got is mainly small container waste disposal, courtesy of Nova's heavy steam hauler and horses mod, which comes available in 1900. And of course, we've got a small steam waste hole here. Now, the only truck here, it becomes available in 1929, and it's only a small container. So out of all these, there's only one heavy or large container platform, which is this heavy waste hauler, which has got an impressive top speed of 18 kilometers an hour. And you can see it can carry a lot, but it's incredibly slow. If you start in 1900, then the next time at the moment where you've got a large container platform is in 1957. So you'd have to play 57 years using these heavy waste haulers. Now, they're quite good for short distances. I did do a little bit of test play, but they're not going to really help if you're trying to expand the economy quickly, which is one of the focuses of this series. Because if you haven't watched the kind of the introductory video overview, the main focus of this series is going to be about logistics rather than building a massive economy. And after discovering that potential problem, I thought, well, I'll start in 1960. And then I was thinking a little bit about, well, one, if any of you follow the channel, you know I like to start at least, even if it's a few years before 1960. I can't remember the last time I actually started a series in 1960. So I thought, well, I want to start before that. And then it occurred to me that, again, if you've read the description of this map, this is the 5 points 1900 map in the Steam Workshop, you'll be aware of a backstory. And the backstory is that the Central Committee has sent out a survey team to a remote part of the Republic and to exploit some rumored vast wealth. They get here, they do a little bit of surveying, which I can do with confidence, and they survey this whole central area because that's where they've been told where the resources are. And what they find is just very small amounts of bog iron and poor quality coal in this central area. And they were about to abandon the mission, and then some surveyors encountered a tiny little village over here called New Hope with a small population who told them that the real resources are actually up in the hills. And then upon reporting back to the Central Committee instructed the survey team to build a construction site and build a town which will be able to expand out across the map and exploit and bring all those wonderful resources to the benefit of the Republic. And so that's the original backstory. What I've done is slightly modified it now, in the sense that what I want to do in the first 5 years, which is what I'm calling the prelude, I want to pick up the story when the survey team have built a construction camp and started building the town up here. But of course, it's lost a bit of momentum because the Central Committee's gone off everywhere. There's no funds available. So there's so the construction camp will be up and running, but they're still putting together the town. So effectively, what the first 5 years of this series is going to be building that base infrastructure and getting a small self-sufficient economy up, so that when we get to 1960, the Central Committee will suddenly decide that they need these extra resources and put the pressure on to expand out across the map. Now, the reason I've taken this approach is, well, one, because I wanted to start early, and two, I just wanted to kind of give a reason why the economy is being built up, rather than, as I say, the normal approach is you start on the map and then you build this big city. The other thing also is that I wanted the initial town around the cathedral here to be something with a 1920s kind of historical look, rather than go straight in with all the kind of base buildings or vanilla buildings, and just have a relatively modern look. Plus, I think it would be quite fun just to spend some time building up the economy using that. Needless to say that this initial 5-year period is going to have an extensive use of mods, and hopefully we'll be able to get ourselves a little bit of up running economy. So I hope you're going to enjoy this. It will also fit a bit with the fact that we've got the steam waste haulers as well. So that's the backstory. That's what we're going to be trying to accomplish. And I think that's probably enough. What I'm going to do now is, well, we don't really need this map here because we're going to be working. And what I'll do is I'll just give you a tour of the local area if you haven't watched any of the other files. What we've got is a custom shed here. It's a medium custom shed. And we've got absolutely no power here either, because there's no power on that. There's no external power connections for the map. That is an objective for late game. We've got a port here that's just purely decorative. It probably collapse eventually. As I say, we've only got very limited coal and iron. Now, one of the sub-objectives of when I was creating this map, and why I didn't provide power and why I didn't want to put major resources into here, is the fact that I wanted to have a reason to really push for nuclear power. So eventually this central area will need to be powered by nuclear power rather than coal and iron, because even with the logistics set up, it's going to be a struggle to get the quantities of coal and iron into here to run a fairly large city. I do want to build a large city in this area. Now, so one of our early pushes towards research will be trying to unlock the resources and finding uranium. Now, I can't remember where all the resources are. I'll just give you a bit of a clue. I know this area here is quite rich in coal and iron. I've got a feeling that there is uranium up here as well. And I think there's, I mean, you can basically deduce, I think there's rich resources here, but I'm not 100% sure where I'm pretty sure the uranium's up there. So what we're going to have to do is try and get up here and then open the map up and try and find it. Another area I want to push for is to mine bauxite, and I'll be completely upfront. I've got no clue where the bauxite is. Same with oil. I know there's quite a lot of oil on the map, but I can't remember offhand where that is either. I've got a feeling there might be some down here, so maybe we come out here and explore this area. I mean, I could survey it, but I'm not going to do that because it doesn't make any difference. There's no point finding out that there's a major deposit of oil over here and then saying, well, how am I going to get to it? So, although as we get to mid game, we'll probably be developing the four border points, so that instead of just expanding outwards, we could expand inwards, and then we might actually make connections. So I think I've probably gone on a little bit longer than necessary. So I think what we're going to do now is just get into doing some actual building. And if anyone has skipped the introduction, welcome. And hopefully you're going to enjoy this series. Now, our first real problem is I need to gravel this main road, which means we're going to have to do something a little bit jiggery-pokery. And also, I need to sort this road out here because the waste update creates a lot of traffic. And when I laid this out, I just wanted to do it aesthetically for the 5 points. So what we're going to have to do is get rid of this road here. Start with. In fact, we're probably in the long eventually reshape all the roads around here. So we're going to get rid of that. And what I want is I want a reasonable distance in from here where we got kind of a tree here. So I think maybe we're kind of start putting some roads in here. And what I want to do is put 3 roads in. I'm going to put in here. Just how long's that road? 200 and it's about 600 meters. It might be a little bit too long, but that's okay. And then I'm going to put another road alongside this on this side, and another road alongside this here as well. Now, the reason I've done 4 roads is it will make sense, I can promise you. And we'll come here, connect to there, connect to there, connect to there, and then we'll take these roads out. And what I want to do is create 3 roads. Now, the 2 on the left will be the main roads. The one on the right, in fact, we can probably take out this bit here just for clarity purposes, is going to be the service road. So to begin with, we're going to put all our 3 buildings on the right hand side here, and I think we can trim this back. Actually, it's gone a bit too far up. And then what we'll do is come in here and make that connection there like that. So what we're going to have is the construction offices and other bits and pieces across here, so that eventually when we take it down, because of course we've got the railway here, and eventually we're going to need this space for the railway line. Now, the next thing we're going to do is just put in a bit of road there, which we can remove. I think that point there would be, what is there? There's something in there that's causing a bit of a problem. Just off the snapping, we're going to come out a little bit further. I want to cross there like that. And what you'll see is that these roads are a bit longer. So what we should be able to do is build these with mechanical purposes. Now, what we're going to do is, next decision, we're going to build the temporary construction stuff on this side. So what we're going to need, I think I'm going to put the construction camp out this side. No, come out this way, because we've got gravel over there, and we're going to need to produce power. So, and of course the border here sticks out a bit further on this side than that side. This side. As you can see here with the 3 stars, I had a real tough job trying to not have a big red star over the top of the customs shed. That's why the stars are in the position that they are. Right, so we've now got this built out this way. And what I want to do now is come up here, because I want to do a little bit of kind of long-term planning with these roads. And I think, how far away is the... I did do a little bit of measuring before I started recording. Coming here, there's about 900. So that comes to about there. So what I want is the center road here. Come up, put the four, nothing back on again, and then we're gonna here. Because it is straight, be a bit difficult to tell sometimes. And then we're gonna remove you and you. Now comes the fun bit. I've got to remember how to do this. What we're going to do is build a roundabout, and to get the curve, you've got to come off a straight bit of road. If you come off a road like this, the game won't let you curve very well. It would do the angle. So what you've got to do is create a little bit of road like this. Then you need to curve out. Now, what I suggest is if you're building roundabouts, don't do it by eye. What you're looking for is a distance. The distance isn't the diameter of the roundabout. It's actually the length of the road. And what you see also, there's a thing called the azimuth. And what you're looking for is, I think that'll do it. No, I've gone there. What I'm looking for is the azimuth to go to 90 degrees. Let's come in a little bit. You need turn off the snapping. I think the snapping kind of messes things up a bit. Okay, we got 61 meters, 90 degrees. That, I think that will work. Whoops. Get rid of you. And what we've got to do now is, you can do it like this, but and kind of go around here and come in. Looking for is 180. What's 161 times 122, isn't it? Yep. So you can then put that in there. But what I suggest is that when you do the first one, you do it as a segment, and then do it that way. And what you get then is the roundabout like that. So if you do it that way, you can get a nice even roundabout round there. If you try and do it by eye, because of the isometric projection and the fact that you can't look down very easily from directly above, you won't get anything that you're really looking for. So what we're going to do now is come into here. But ideally, I would like to get rid of that. Get rid of you. No, it's not going to do it because the road there is a little bit. I think what's happened is that's kind of got duplication in it. So we'll just take that in. Then we should be able to. No, and the game still doesn't want to play. Okay, we can live with that. Now, what I am going to do is we're going to take this road back, take out this now. We don't need this bit of road here. And then we're going to kind of come in back so that we can snap back to. We're going to bring the road in a little bit and then go something like that. So the roads will come together and then come out like that. So you've got a kind of a little bit of a squiggly, curvy type thing, and then what you can do is take this back a bit like this. I'll just trim that back again, and then get a bit of a more gentler curve in like that. Now, the next direction I want to go is, what I'm looking to build is a central roundabout here. So what we're going to do is, and the idea is to keep all the traffic away from this area here. So put you there. And take out this, and then that road will go out that way. I mean, I'll kind of fill these roads in a bit later on. At the moment, I just want to get a an overall structure here. Now, this one's going to be a little bit different because I don't want it to go there. What I want it to do, I don't know if you guys can see the road in the background. So what we're going to do here is come up here straight, then we're going to curve round a bit like that. Put a road in there and right there. A little bit closer. A bit right just left in there. That gives us our main road structure. We've got this here, and what I want to do is start about here. I want to try and keep these to an absolute minimum. Actually, I think I won't put the crossroad here for the moment. We're going to start from this point here. Now, next thing I want to do is we've got to get in some of our free stuff. So we're going to need a free gas station. I'm going to put it here on this section here because it's got a bit of a circuitry system here. And no, maybe I'm going to put a road here out that way. And then what we'll have, yeah, I think we'll put the gas station here because we're not going to gravel this, so I can afford to break this up into smaller areas. So we'll have the gas station there, and we need a depot. Depot, like that. And what we're also going to need is a distribution office, which is hidden for the moment. So we're going to put 3 distribution office here. And then what I need is a free aggregate store. Now, this one is going to be very temporary. The only reason I'm building this is that I need to store some gravel so we can build this section of road. And so, but to be honest, these free stores are a little bit of a waste of time, simply because they've only got one pick up and drop off point, which makes them pretty inefficient. But for the purposes of what I've got to do here, it's going to be fine. So the first thing we're going to need is a tanker. It's not, everything's not particularly that square, but not particularly that important. Right, show what's going on here. I think I've just clicked on the, why is the workshop not going? You're going to need an oil tanker, capacity wise. I mean, there's no point worrying about top speed because I think the fastest vehicle here is 60. In fact, if we just show you the speed, we got 70, but our top speed is actually 35. So we're going to get, we're buying, I'm not actually sure what the difference between these are. They look almost exactly the same. So we're going to buy one of those, and I need the 10-ton dumper. That's 9.5 tons. Okay, we're going to get a couple of 10-ton. Let the game run. Get that going. Get these guys in here while they're kind of taking up position. Now, the next thing I need to think about is along this coastline. We've got our kind of, I think we'll probably put the construction here. So next thing I want is power and waste. I want to come in a reasonable distance because I might want to build off of this road. These guys are that off there. Travel, fuel. You deliver the fuel at to 60%, and you gravel, set it to 80%, like that. And then we'll just let these guys get going and run. In fact, we just let the game run now because we need to get this built up here. Because before we build anything, we've got to do this here. Actually, the other thing I need to do is get in a construction office as well. Thought about that. Right, where's the free ones? We're going to build 2 of these. Put one in reasonably close because this is never going to be gravelled. Right. What I do want is get a couple of bulldozers. We got Stanolets. This one, get a couple of those. And we're going to build a lot of roads. So now we got, it shows 2 different colours where it's okay. What? I'm not sure why I can't get, the workshop keeps turning itself off. What we need is a truck that's fairly versatile. This one's only 30 kilometers, so basically we're stuck with a V3S semi truck. Okay. So we'll just come in here, buy the covered open hole. Where are you? And we want one of those. Right, so while that's going, let's just get back to our initial power supply is going to come from yeah, I think we'll be okay. We got the road coming in from there, so we come to power plants. We're going to go for hydropower, mainly because it's just a bit of fun. And I've got this one here. It says Czech hydroelectricity, late 19th century Píšek. And you can see it would generate 180 megawatts and it only requires 6 workers. What I like about this over the water mill needs more workers. It produces 160. So this one produces just slightly less. The downside with this one is that it doesn't have a high tension connection. So in some ways, this one is a little bit more useful. I'm going to push this out a little bit. Okay, just put it there. In fact, there's actually 2 connections. There's a high tension and a low tension underneath, just to show that. So there's a little bit of an error in the mod. If you come there, you've got high tension and the low tension is underneath it. So you've kind of got a dual option here. Now, the next thing we're going to deal with is sewage. We have the construction camp there. Now, the odds are that we will eventually run the main sewage disposal, which is this one here, come out here from the town up there. So, didn't know sewage required power. I suppose it's optional. What we're going to do is possibly put this here. We can't go outside the borders, but I don't want to use that from the beginning because the problem with this one is that I made this mistake when I started the 3 River series, that you can't deliver to this with trucks because it's got a footpath connection. So what we're going to need is a sewage discharge, and what we've got is this little building here, which has actually got a, see, most of these have got no connections, so that's a bit risky because it might I don't think any of these have actually got road connections. So what we're going to do is, I think I'll use the free one. This one just needs 2 workers. We're just going to use this, and we're going to shove it down in this here. And just to make sure we can find it, a road connection up to there, and probably eventually we'll just run it up into the village there. So we've got sewage disposal, we've got power, and let the game run. And what I want to do is wait for this guy to do his thing. And then now what this guy should be able to do is carry 2 bulldozers in one go. So then we'll go back to there and we'll let go. And he should go into there and he should pick up 2 bulldozers. Ah, look at that. And then what he should do then is return to the depot. Okay, how are we doing for gravel? Got 20 tons, so we need a bit more than that. I think what I'm going to do now is we're just going to work out where do we want the center of the village to be. My instinct is we got this road here, we got this road coming up from there. I think what we got to have power to there. This is a footpath connection, so we could run up directly off of here like that. And then that means that we could connect this up with this is going to be quite important. I want people to walk to it, so this is going to be a footpath that we're going to build up to here, and then we're going to run up here. Now this construction kind of site would be built on the more traditional lines because I'm not looking for a lot of traffic going through this. Well, we can control the traffic because once this is built, we could put a link from here down to there and build it so that any traffic going out this way will follow this road through. But first thing first, we need to do is build this bit here. How much gravel we got? About 40 tons. We probably need a little bit more than that. You want to go to there. Do there, please. And what we're going to do is set this to deliver a truck. You, we want you to pick up from there. Because what we're going to do is put in the aggregate trucks. We're going to go in there. In fact, I'm going to buy a new one. I don't want you connecting footpaths or anything just at the moment. I want you to just work on roads, and we'll worry about the footpaths in a little while. And we're going to buy a dumper. Game, you are annoying me a little bit. What's going on here? Oh, why does it go to concrete mixer? And get 2 more of those in there. How are we doing, guys? Right, we've got 80 odd tons in there. Right, what I want to do is catch these guys as they drop off. I think 80 tons is enough. What's the fuel situation here? Do a little bit more fuel. But then again, it shouldn't take you. I want you to go there. Right. What I want now is fuel truck come out. Right, pause. And we're gonna and next thing we're gonna do is and we're gonna assign you and you number 1. Sign to and we want you to build that for me, please. Make sure that it's only 38 tons of gravel, so that's good. And we're just going to get that built. Now, for the construction camp here, what I want is, I want it to look semi-permanent. I just don't want to build it as a, how can you say, as a total construction camp. I want it to look as though it's been there a little while and there's started to get a certain permanence about it. Because eventually I would like to, if you've watched my Three River Valley series, you'll be aware that I turned a construction camp into a permanent settlement, and that's something that I want to do here. So I want a slight air of permanence here. New vehicle type available. Good, thank you, game. So we're just gonna let the game run, and I think what we need to do here is put in some key buildings. I think we'll start with the usual. We'll put some shops in. I don't really want to put a kind of supermarket type thing in here. So what we're going to do is put in. It's the food. This is the food shop. I'm going to put in. The border post is there, so I don't want traffic crossing through there. So, and I want this to be in. Kind of like this. Actually, look at this one. This one, okay. They're both okay. So, actually, if I put it this side, like that, I want this to be in so that we can get some footpaths around. So again, because I want that slight air of permanence. And of course, because my Cyrillic is absolutely useless. What should we call this? What should I call it? I don't want to call it. Call it construct food. Construct food. And then what we'll do is put this guy over here. That. And we'll call you construct those. So we got this guy going here. How are you guys doing? Okay, you've nearly finished the road. Good. How much gravel we got left? Oh, we got plenty of gravel, so good. I think what we can do now is get that built. And what we can do now. Okay, this guy's detecting everything. I don't want you doing that. And I don't want the footpath. So get you just on auto detect roads at the moment. 1,000 meters. This guy's off the and right, we've got two what we call it. So start by getting that built in there, like that. Of course, the downside is that these can't store fuel, so bulldozers still wander off. But what I should have done is put the fuel depot up there a bit closer, but and these guys will just deliver the gravel. Right, so we've got some shops in the center here, and the next thing we're going to need is a medical center or hospital. So just put this in hospital. What do I want in the way of hospital? I want something that kind of that's a bit too much. Doctor's office. It's a bit difficult here because I don't know whether to choose between. Oh, we've got yearly European clinic here. I don't know whether to choose between a how can you say it, a kind of something that looks very rugged and something that may look about 1920s. Got clinic there. Got an early clinic here, which has got space for 4. Actually, quite like that actually, because of course, medical facilities would be something. Actually, we could create a little bit of a. Oh yeah, I've got an idea. We need a bit of waste collection because the medical clinic will produce hazardous waste. So we come in here now. I only want small garbage collections here, but I want the ability for it to sort containers, small garbage containers, large, small garbage, got footprints. Right, those are there. I want the small ones. I don't want that one because I want it to be able to store 2 things. Kind of thinking if we can put that, just nestle that in there, like that, in the center. And then we can put the hospital, whoops, what was it again? It was 5, wasn't it? We kind of put you just round like that, in slightly, so we can put footpaths on. And we can put something like that just there. So we're trying to create a bit of a town square with the garbage as the feature in the center. How are you guys going? If you run out of gravel, yep. Okay, what we need to do now is put you back onto the some shit, and then we'll just get rid of this. Don't want it. And get rid of that little bit of road there. Nice thing about the free, these are free. So what we're going to do is just get the boys running, working on this. This is being built. Ideally, I would like this built out this way. I think what we will do is just remove you for the moment, and then we're going to build, get this over and done with, get go. We'll build this out to here, then we'll put the store connections in very, very quickly. So we've got a clinic, we've got the 2 stores. What else do we need in the center here? We've got, we're going to need a cinema or something like that. But would I try to think what we actually need? We need a kind of cultural sports center type thing, don't we? So sports. Again, the sport is going to be a little bit tricky because oh, we got a Tudor Athletics League. Okay, well, that would fit in quite nicely. Because what I'm trying to do is create an area here where we can go to that waste disposal point there. Because, of course, where you've got concentrations of people, you get more waste disposal. So I think if we put the Tudor just there, that's going to be the Tudor Athletic. That's the 5 points early clinic. Let's just change that. Construct clinic. That in there. We got the clinic there. We actually, what I could do, we got a road junction here. So if I go to here, I think we could get away with cinema. We've got to keep the troops happy or our workers happy. Actually, what have we got here? Anything that's kind of would fit in with the theme. We got, well, that's a bit big, isn't it? I think this is the, how much did it cost to build? Doesn't cost that much to build. Well, I want to come slightly this way, because we need to make sure we got workers to the power station. I think what we'll do is we'll put this in about here. Is that? Because it won't tell us. That was actually going to be in range. Yep, I like that. So we'll put this here like that, and then we can get a couple of residences down here. See what the walking distance is. Not that far, but we could put a couple of tent accommodation here. So we've got entertainment. Let's rename that. Construct. Keynote. So we got that there. These guys are going quite happily. What I think what we'll do is I will break the road. Break the road there for the moment, and just to keep the crews busy, because we got a what we call it, sat around doing nothing at the moment. So we'll get them working on that as well. We could probably get both sections built. Oops, nearly put panel road in. That'd have been embarrassing. I think we're because I'm doing so much planning. I think we'll put these in, get them built, and then we can make that connection later on. That would keep the guys going. Two long sections of road like that. And actually, what I will do is we'll build up that little section there. I get rid of that. Good. Build this there, like that. And that will give us the road running out the center there. So back to our tiny little village here. We've got the food people here, which will come in. We've got the clinic. We've got athletics club. We've got the Kino. What else do we need? I must admit, I'm a little bit rusty with respect to schools. Yes, we need a school, don't we? In fact, we need a kindergarten. Now, one thing I do remember is that the kindergarten that comes with the construction office is too small. We need something that's a little bit bigger. That's a small kindergarten. Kidding me. I don't really want to use steel unless I have to, and I don't really want to use. How big is that? Actually, that looks quite cool. Actually, I like that. We've got potential footpaths there. I could put that behind the store here. If I put it that way round, because we can. If I can't. My temptation is to put it there actually, and right alongside the store, and then we can push a footpath out this way. Construct. Oops, it's not construct. It's construct. Kinder. So we've got a kindergarten. We're gonna need a university. Now I've got a bit of a dilemma with the university, in the fact, and this is a bit of a tip, guys. If you're using modded universities, be aware that not all of them actually tell you what they actually research, and I've got to try and remember which ones is. Some do, like you've got Lenin Technical University here. I don't want to use that. I've got no idea which one that one does. Trying to think. Then again, does it make a difference? Because if we get one that's don't want anything looking too monocle. Got historic commoners head HQ. Would you build a? No. We've got a technical university. Well, certainly don't want that. That's 20. That's 90. That's 100, but I don't know what it actually is. This one needs a lot of boards. I don't really want a tiny university. I don't really want to build Lenin Technical University. I'd like a Communist Party HQ if possible, if there was a small one. Got 3 division HQ. Got no idea what that is. This is too small anyway. I think what we're going to do from the point of view of here is just put in this one. It's going to require a lot of building, but I think it will fit just in here like that. So if I put this one in here, I think it's a technical university, which is probably not what I'm looking for, but I don't think we've got a lot of choice. Right, we've now built this road here. That's kind of opens up an opportunity now to put now I am going to build gravel footpaths from the get-go. Like that. And then we're going to build a kind of little bit of a footpath around like that. There. And we'll just accept those. What I'm going to do is no, cancel the footpaths. I want to remove these roads just for the moment. Just remove that. And then we'll build that there. And what we'll do is we'll switch on footpath detection now on both sides. We've got our 4 trucks going there. Wow. Okay, I think I might have I think I'm going to buy, I think it's time now to kind of expand our, this is annoying me. I think what we're going to get here now is an excavator. Because we need to branch out a little bit now. This is 10, this is, wow, excavator 15, 10. I've forgotten how bad things are here. This is like a little bit of a truck, so it could go out on its own. It's got 60 kilometers an hour. This is, I actually quite like this, so we're going to get this as a kind of free base. Although it says it's only 10, this is 15. I think we'll go with this one. Buy that, and it can come out on its own accord. It's pretty cool looking, actually. I'm not sure whether it'd be actually transported by here, or whether it's just going to go out on its own. No, it's going to move around on its own violation. That's okay. So we've got, so like, let's just get back to here. We've got these gravel trucks are getting really carried away, actually. Kind of, right, what we got here? We got food, we've got university, we've got Kino, we've got the Tudor Athletics Club, Bose Clinic, we've got the athletics club, we've got the university, kindergarten. We don't have a school, do we? Because we put in the kindergarten, but we don't actually have a school. I'm kind of a bit inclined to let's have a look at the schools. School-wise, let me just see. We've got these which have footpaths on them. We could kind of just use these as outdoor schools. The alternative is not much. Let me just see. We got a village school there. This has got, wow, that's way too big. The school, I've got a log school here. Wow, that's too big. 1950s. We could. These are so big. That's the problem. A tiny little school like this. This is 30 students. This is 72. I think what we'll do is we'll wait for this to be built, and then we'll put. I want to come this way a little bit. In fact, we could probably put a school. Oh wow, we could probably tuck a school in there, couldn't we? Just in here. What is this? This is the Tudor Athletics. Yeah, I think we can get. Just tuck the school in here. Just very, very carefully here. Put it there, and then we could hopefully put a footpath through. Yeah. Okay. We got a school there. Next thing we're going to need to think about is power, but I want to get in the education perspective. Going to need to get some accommodation. What I'm looking for is a population between around 600, which means we need to put down residential. Where is it? Here now. The quality of flats for these tents is 68%, so we're going to have to work a little bit on here. So that's encouraging because that's actually in range of the power, which means that it's probably going to be in range of walking. So if I put in 1, 2 there, that should provide enough workers for there. One there. Actually, one thing I haven't put in yet is a bus stop because we want these guys to work. So if we put in, that's a, put that in there. Sheep, go to me. Move you. Luckily, we can delete these because it's. What we're going to do is put in a bus stop here. Because we're going to need the workers to get things up and running. So, what do we need? I mean, my normal inclination is to go for this type format because it kind of works. And the advantage with this is that rather than having a big central bus stop, you can have, like, say, for example, if we develop this area over here, we can put another bus stop this side. We can have a single bus stop here. The alternative is that we go really big. Got a small bus platform, small here. We could do something like we put it that way round. They kind of spaced out a little bit that way. And then just remove you. And then run you there. Back. Move this road here. Tell the game to gravel that road. And that road. Well, kind of overloading things a little bit, but shouldn't have. kind of put this in, but a bit late now. I think we might be getting a little bit out of range, so let's just have a quick look. Oh yeah, it says it's increased the range a little bit. Why is this guy not doing his thing? This guy isn't much use, is he? I can understand this one because he's not got it. Why aren't you going out and... we got work here. Get out here and do it. Let's just bump the priority and see if that will wake him up. Of course, the other thing we got to keep an eye on is wear and tear. So we're going to build in here. We've got a bus platform here. What we'll probably do is bring a footpath around here once this has been built. And as we fill in this area here, we can make the road connections and start to build things in it. The short road connections I'm going to actually do as mud connections. So we've got this here. We need to get that built down to there. Probably do with some more bulldozers, but I don't really want to overload everything. Okay, it looks like we've got to do a little bit of catching up now to get all this built, kind of put together and built up. I'm also aware that I'm going over a lot of time on this video, so this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Hope you found it interesting. What I will do is let the game run on a little bit to actually see if we can get a little bit more activity going. But until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.